Hi guys, it's Funk here, Scale Street Garage, and today's project is the Model A Ford from the Matchbox model yesteryear, and it starts off as you'll see from the Kellogg's cereal van. But we're not going to keep it like this. This is a custom modification, and I'm going to change it from a van to a pickup. If I can just make everyone aware that next month is October is the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we've got a special build off by Diecast Outkast, and it's on the 12th of October. It's open to anybody, just got to email him. His email address is there at the bottom at Diecast Outkast, and remember Outkast is spelt with a K. There's my cars I'm going to be altering, and the theme is paint it pink, and it can be anything from a pink wheel, a pink car, a pink stripe, anything. Just email him and let him know that you want to do it. Back to this bad boy, let's get it apart. There's 3 rivets on this one. The one at the front and the one in the middle hold the body together, and the one at the back just holds the base plate on, which is just there as an axle carrier. I'm not going to be drilling these out 4-point screws in because 2 of the actual rivet posts are too short. So later on I'll be putting it back together just using super glue and baking soda. Just going to speed things up here now. Nothing worse than watching somebody undo a car. Unclip the roof, just 2 little tabs. There we go, it's all done. Now let's start mudding it. Like I say, I'm going to chop the back off this one, turn it from a panel van to a pickup. Just marking the lines on there now where I'm actually going to be cutting, and all I'm using for this is just a general junior hacksaw. A little bit difficult at times so to hold it, so I'm just using the vise there just to stabilize things. Saves me chopping my fingers off. Most of this video is actually in speed mode. It was actually quite a long customization. Took over a couple of days to do this one, as a lot of you know, I can only do short periods of time on any work. So just getting rid of the rest of the back. Filing it down, make sure it's level with the roof, so we've got a nice roof line again. Just cutting the sides down to bring it down level with the top of the pickup. And make sure that everything's all nice and flush. Get rid of those sharp edges and those nasty corners. We don't need them. Time for the old roof modification. As you'll see, it's actually sloping. Well, I actually want it level. It's not a lot. I was just wondering what to use. I thought I might as well just use the junior axle. It's only a couple of millimeters got to come out of each side. Just to bond it, it says there, good old super glue. Just using a cocktail stick to ensure it's right the way into the actual joint. Now just using a small clamp, I'll just clamp it down, and that'll just bring the roof down. It's not difficult, it's not going to damage the saw. And a little bit of activator. Now time for the old paint removal. I'm sure you remember this stuff. The old shitty strip, but it's now called better strip. I'm back to real mode time now. Bye fenders, I'll see you in a few minutes. Now, as you'll probably remember from my last videos, this stuff was taken up to about 2 hours to remove the paint. Since then, I've altered the mixture. What I've done, I've added some dichloromethane to the actual shitty strip, so it's now not the same stuff that I have been using. Take note of now from putting it on the bonnet, or the hood as you Americans would say. And just going around painting on, just make sure it's on all the actual surfaces. It is quicker now as it's been modified, but it's not super quick. It's not blistering in front of your eyes, but it's a lot quicker. I can do it in real time now. Well, I could have done it in real time before. You had a couple of hours to wait, but I'm sure that we'd all get bored with that one. I'm getting the inside there because I intend putting, I was going to spray it around the inside, and whilst I was doing this I actually was thinking on colours etc to do this, and I decided I'm going to be putting wooden panel in there anyway, so I didn't really need to paint the remove the paint from the inside, but I've done it anyway. This stuff absolutely stinks now. If any of you remember the old Nitro Morse, that's exactly what this smells like now. All I've done is the containers I'm using there, I've added about 50 millilitres of the dichloromethane to it, and as you'll see, boom, 1 minute 48 seconds and the paint's already lifting. So absolutely over the moon with this. If you do add this stuff to your shitty strip, guys, remember, do it in a use it in a well ventilated area, because it does stink to high heaven. As Matty would say, I'm happy with that. So guys, if you want to alter it, do a search on Fleabay for dichloromethane. It's used for paint. It's used for all sorts actually. Paint stripping paint stripping additive is one of the main uses. It's also used for, if you do 3D printing, you can smooth off parts as well of PLA and PETG, etc. In fact, I showed one of my good friends today. It actually melts a PETG. Melts it so much that he brought round some work he'd done with I think it was steel that was in the actual filament, and where it etched away you could actually see the steel that was actually left behind. So the blues all come off as well here. I'm just smearing it around, to be honest. Just making sure it was all off though. And after a scrub, using the mother-in-law's toothbrush as usual, it come out nice and clean. There we go, just wiping away the soapy water from cleaning it off, and look how clean that was just with a toothbrush. I'm so happy with that stuff now. Really am. Wasn't a speck of paint left on that. It certainly made my life a lot better now for shipping these cars. And I've got plenty more left as well for adding to more mixes, so it hasn't worked out expensive at all. A little bit of blue left on the underside, but I'm not worried about that. So back to the old body modifications now. Just making sure that it's all nice and level, and the filing marks are out. Obviously I'd left deep gouges in there from the file. It soon comes off. I'm just using a 180 grit there. I change over to 240 grit shortly, but I'm just giving it a good rub at the minute. No genie popped out, so I'll give up rubbing on that one. Back up to 10 speed now, otherwise it gets a little bit boring. Chopping the windows down. Now that we haven't got the back on the truck, there's no need for the full window, so that can go. Just a quick test fit to make sure as it works, because obviously I need to spray it afterwards. Now getting rid of the casting lines, and the back end was atrocious on this, but it came out quite nice in the end. As you'll see, for plastic, I'm actually using an old DVD there. We've all got DVDs and CDs sitting away in cupboards that never used again. Just sand off the painted side with the metal on, and good as gold. You've got some lovely plastic there. Just put the rub down side on the inside, so the smooth side's on the out, so you get a nice finish when you're spraying. Filled in the roof lines then, after sticking the plastic on with CA and baking soda. Now just found all down. As we know, it goes off like concrete, this stuff. I'm just applying some glaze, some scratch filler there. That's the Holt stuff. So just filling in all the cracks and joints, and filled in the door panel on the back, etc. And now this is the next day, fully hardened. Just sanding it down now with some 240 grit. Make sure it's nice and smooth, ready for spraying. And the back panels, like I say, what I'm using here is just a 0.2mm veneer. Some that I had left over from making my wife a ring a couple of years ago. So it's using the Dremel with a burr tool just to get rid of some of the casting inside, and getting rid of the brackets that are on the wheel wells. Because it's tubbed, I was actually going to have the tubs showing on this one. So I thought, right, I'll get rid of them brackets, they don't need to be seen. Now just sticking the panels in. Just roughly sticking them in, oversized. It's that thin, it trims down nice and easy afterwards. A little bit of the old activator there, and that's nice and solid straight away. Nicely trimmed up. Only takes a few seconds just to trim that stuff. There's a quick polish up with a brass wheel on the old rotary tool. Into the spray booth. As you'll see, the colour picked is green. It's actually two-tone green. This was the Tamiya lime green, but I've added some yellow in just to lighten it down a little bit because it was a little bit bold. Just marking inside the tubs so I knew where the body went, so I can put some of the body colour onto them wheel arches. Now adding the timber around, as you'll see there. Little base plate for in there, just so you can still see the tubs. It's very, very fragile, this stuff, being 0.2 mil. So it's what I've done is I've put on some foil back tape and try and hold it together, but it was a fail, big epic fail on this one. So thought, sod it, I'm going to fill the back in. I still wanted it as a pickup. I didn't want it as a truck bed. I still wanted so you can put stuff in the back of it if I need to, or if ever I want to, rather. As you see there, just adding some of this silver foil to it. Just gives it that little bit extra strength. Rubbing it down with the nails, make sure it's nice and adhered onto it. Once it's in place, I could glue it. Now just adding the other bit of the frame around and snipping it off. Time to put it all back together. Just a quick test. I've put new wheels on there, so just making sure that the base went on. Hold that down so it's all nice and tight, and then add the baking soda. Just kept them nice and flush. A little bit of Molotov chrome just to brighten things up. It's almost time for the reveal, guys. If you remember the old blue World Player Worn van, I hope you agree that it was well worth doing the modification on this one. Here we go for the reveal, guys. Hope you like it. I absolutely love it. A very good friend of mine came down today and he saw it and he liked it. He said it looked nice. He couldn't believe it when he saw what it actually started off as. But no, I've really enjoyed doing this one. Really enjoyed it. I hope you guys have as well. It's been a blast. Made a change during it all in fast mode, but it made the video a lot shorter. Just like to say a massive great big thank you to all my new subscribers. I've gained over 400 subscribers in the last 2 weeks, which is absolutely brilliant. Thanks for watching, everybody. Catch you all soon.